Let's talk about compressed files in Windows 11. I worked really hard to prepare a folder with these files and folders. Well, actually, only 3 files and 1 folder, but still. I also specifically chose files of different types. As you can see, one is a picture, another is a zip file, the third is a PDF file, and one folder which contains a bunch of text files. Let's have a look at the properties of each of the files to see the original size and the actual size they use on my disk.
Please subscribe.
Here you can see the actual size, and here is the size it uses on my disk. When I check the properties of each of these files, you could notice a pattern. The file's actual size is slightly smaller than the size it uses on my disk. This happens because of the way the disk is formatted. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like more information about this. Each file could use disk space equal or larger than its actual size. Doesn't matter what type of file it is. To compress a file or a folder, right-click it and click Properties. Click Advanced, check the compressed contents to save disk space, then click OK and OK again. Let's do the same for the rest of the files and the folder. When trying to compress a folder, you will be asked if you want to apply the compression to this folder only or to apply the compression to all the files and folders inside it. Make your choice and click OK. Each compressed file gets this icon to indicate that this file is compressed. Now let's check the properties of each of the compressed items. The picture size hasn't changed because it is a JPEG and it is already compressed by default. Same with the zip file. By nature, it is a compressed file and cannot be compressed further. The PDF file is slightly smaller now. This change in size is not really significant for this one single lonely file. But when you have hundreds or thousands of them, the size reduction could be significant. It also depends on the contents of the PDF file. Now, look at this folder. As I mentioned before, it is full of plain text files. Check out the reduction in size of this folder. From an original size of 10 megabytes, it now uses less than 1.5 on the disk. So you're probably thinking now, hey, I'm gonna compress my entire disk and save a lot of disk space. Well, I wouldn't recommend that. Although you can, you shouldn't implement this method on your entire disk. In addition, older computers might take slightly more time to open a compressed file. While on a newer computer with a strong CPU, you might not even feel the difference. I'm of course talking about milliseconds, not like it takes a second to open a file and like 10 seconds to open the same file when it's compressed. As you can see here, some files compress better than others. I would recommend implementing this compression method on folders containing text files, log files, or files you don't use frequently. And as always, if you like what you see and you want to know more, watch this video next.